scholars have to ask themselves, why did people actually write them up? Why make the effort after the event? And that can only be from the point of view of the orator, for sort of publicity and influence on others. Cicero, for instance, in some letter says, "Oh, the enthusiasm of my young admirers forces me to put this on paper." So he creates the impression that other young orators want to read his speeches because he was regarded even in his lifetime as a great orator, because then they want to learn from these speeches as a model how to make a really good and effective speech. But although Cicero may, to a certain extent, just have said this to make himself seem to be more in demand, some of this is certainly true. So that's sort of the rhetorical side of things. The other side of things is, especially in political cases, that the orator would want to document their view on a certain case in a certain situation, and then other people would want to read what he said or what his argument was, if maybe they weren't able to come to the event, or they thought it was quite important to learn about it afterwards, or they couldn't remember everything. So they would be able to see the views of the orator on a certain theme. And this was important can be seen from the examples of speeches that were written up as a speech but never delivered. For instance, the most famous example is Philippic 2, of course, that was never delivered. And what Cicero says in this speech could have easily been published in the form of a pamphlet or an open letter in a newspaper in the modern world or something like that. But he wrote it up in the format of a speech, which shows that the speech was regarded as the most important tool to publish public political opinions. And that must be the reason why also delivered speeches were published, as we call it, although it's not the same as publishing in modern times, to have an influence on the wider public, especially in cases like the struggle against Antony, in which the Philippics were delivered, when it was something going on over several months. So if you publish what you say in month 1 and people sort of know your view, then it has sort of an indirect influence on people's attitude, and you can build on it as the struggle goes on.